So I'm super excited today, Imtiaz. I never thought that me and you will sit across Zoom one day. I will be on this side. I thought मैं celebrity होंगी और तुम कुछ ऐसे ही होगी. But you know,
वही है, वैसे ही है.
वैसा नहीं है. And today, being such a, I would say, the best director ever. So thank you for being in this journey with me all along, where we actually disconnected for some time, and I'm happy to gain you back. So welcome to my podcast, Imtiaz. How are you feeling to be on Second Act podcast today?
I'm super nervous to start this second act with you, Archana, but very happy to chat with you and very happy to see what you're doing. I couldn't believe when you told me the concept of the second act. And I feel that it's a very important thing for our country, especially because a lot of the potential that exists in the female gender of our country gets unduly, unnecessarily, unfairly quite wasted.
Yes.
And I feel very happy that you've started this initiative.
So tell me, Imtiaz, I mean, of course, we were not in touch for so many years, and I want you to go back after college. How did this journey began for you as, coming to the film industry as a director? Let's start from there, and then the next question.
You remember me in class, right? In XIC. Do you remember me as a good student, bad student, average?
Creative. And creativity
Creative.
good, bad, ugly नहीं होता. Creativity का creative होता है. So they are like
Okay, great.
lost, they're a little quirky, they're a little in their own journey sometimes, and they're sitting pensive and, in their own mood. And yeah, I mean, thinking beyond what you can see.
Yeah, so what happened when I came to Bombay is that I was doing this course in advertising and marketing along with you with the hope that I'd get a job. Because coming from where I did, and at that time, you couldn't really imagine that you'll ever become a film director. These are things that you wouldn't admit even to yourself. So I thought I'll get a job in advertising and marketing. Lo and behold, I didn't get a job in advertising and marketing. And it's like your failures actually result in your achievements. And that's what happened with me. Well, not getting a job in O&M and Lintas and HT and all of those agencies where I took copy tests, I finally gave in and took a job of a production assistant in ZTV, along with Ashwini Pai, along with Shankar, and the three of us. So then I started working there, but that kind of became my entry into television. Then I worked for many years in television, basically as a director and writer. And then one day I realized that I'm getting a chance to direct a film because Sunny Deol has heard my story and he is saying, "Oh, I'll produce your film." And then I was a film director and now I'm talking to you. These are things that I never planned in my life, honestly. These are things that उस वक्त तो ये लगता था ना कि हम किसी तरह से बॉम्बे में कमा खा लेंगे, खुश रहेंगे, गाने वाने सुनेंगे एंड अपनी जिंदगी उतना मिल जाए तो बहुत है, right? I never, nobody really expected that we'll be anything or do anything. So just life goes on. It's like a train journey, and you see different things.
That's why Jab We Met became so famous, I think, from your train journey. I don't know. So, ये movies की एक तो storyline है, which is so different that you. From where do you get these? Of course, from college, I know that you were made out to be a bit different, but the storylines are very impactful, especially when we talk about women. Your roles on women is completely amazing. The different facets that you show, the way that you depict them, I go back and say, oh my goodness, how does he know so much about women? So, how did you study women so beautifully?
Maybe, maybe I was fortunate to have interesting women like yourself around me so that I could actually become interested in them. I feel that now I'm old enough to admit, Archana, that ever since I was a small kid, I was very fascinated by women. I was fascinated by the way they looked, but I was also fascinated by the way they spoke, the way they thought. And I always found them much more interesting than men. So therefore, I gave more attention to them, I guess. So the women around me also have been very smart, intelligent. I feel that my mother is like she was always a challenge. You could never do any shit and get away with it because she'd catch you. And people, all women that I've met have been very interesting. They have been also very honest when it comes to it. They've been very devious when they want to be, very interesting. So I feel that when I am writing, when I'm thinking of a film with that kind of portrayal of women, the kind of women that I've seen in my life, that pours out. That's what fills the canvas then. And if you ask me honestly about men versus women, I'm like more interested in women, but then many men will be like that. But at the same time, I also find women smarter than men.
We'll be very happy
Uh,
of us to hear this, of course.
Yeah, because I perhaps because life is a bit like it's still not even for women, na? Like they have to go through more hardship.
Yeah.
The society is poised in the disfavor of women, I believe. So they have to work harder, they have to think harder, they have to also create more space to entertain themselves in life. Also, because there are so many things that a man can do and get away with, but for a woman to do it, it would be sinful, etc., etc. We are still kind of trying to come out of that. So a woman has to be more in touch with herself. Like she has to be more honest with herself and say that, what, the society is going to judge me for this, but I don't think it's a sin. I'm going to do it anyway, and I'm going to not let anyone know. It is her prerogative. A woman thinks like this. It's so interesting. You find this kind of thing in so many of my characters. For instance, Geet will say that मैं जाके शादी कर लूंगी क्योंकि अभी वो लोग मानेंगे नहीं, फिर बाद में भाग के शादी कर लूंगी, फिर बाद में आकर के उनके पैरों पे पड़ जाऊंगी और कि माफ कर दो जी, फिर क्या करना है, वो माफी कर देंगे मुझे. So like women always have this. Men in my films at least will not have this extra layer.
So, from an Imtiaz who was always short on money to an Imtiaz who has loads of money, what has changed?
See, the thing is that when you're short of money,
Hmm.
you get used to being short on money. What actually happened, if I can say honestly, Archana, is that I never like had that kind of value for money because it was not money that was really floating my boat anyway, because I was short on it.
Right.
So now it doesn't matter how much money I have because my needs remained simple. My needs remained what they were at the time that you and I knew each other, where there was always shortage of money and we were trying to seduce other people, convince other people to feed us at Metro Cafe. But yeah, it just became not a very important thing in my life, actually.
Knowing you from those days, of course, I think it was too short a time because the course is not too long. XIC doesn't give you, enough of each other. And I think the numerous trips and all the beach trips that we had near Mumbai. What was that beach called? Manori Bell, isn't it? Where we used to
Yeah.
go. Yeah, so those. I think that is the fondest memory I have at least. Like 21 people
Oh, yeah.
on the beach, all aligned. It was amazing. What do you carry back from XIC?
What I carry back from XIC is a kind of bohemian lifestyle where we would all be in a small huddle together. If you remember, when we went to Manori Bell, if we were 10 of us or 12 of us, we had hardly 2 rooms, or 3 rooms maximum. And we would all somehow be on the floor and bed and everywhere or sleep on the beach. And I remember that we would feel cold on the beach, and then we would have one shawl, and 2 or 3 people would be together, boys and girls. And mind you, it's not as though we were doing necessarily any shit. It's not as though everybody was having an affair with anybody. Nobody was having an affair with anybody, if you remember. Surely some people were trying to, but it was not really going anywhere. Because at that point of time, like I had a girlfriend, Avi had a girlfriend, all in different cities. So we were not like, going into any affair kind of situation. Some people's girlfriend were there with them. So it was a very bohemian life. I feel that I remember then later on in Parel, we would all be lying on the floor for 7 hours and just listening to music. And I think it liberated us from a lot of things
That is
which we had carried as baggage. All of us were extremely, like, we had a chance of speaking to each other about those things which would be considered taboo in society. I
so.
remember, Archana, I'm not going to quote it here, of course, right now, but you and I have also spoken
Uh,
about things that you don't speak to people about. And I think it was a time of great release for us.
that is
We released ourselves from the shackles of society, so to speak, while we were in XIC.
I also think that this was a very, very crucial phase, and it was great friendship that happened in
Yeah,
such a short time. And I think you have really been with those friends as well. I have literally, like, come out. I'm not in touch with most of them, but I think you have really hung on to your close friends even till now, and that's a really good credit to you, despite reaching where you've reached them. That's really commendable.
because when later on in life, I think that you go back and think about connect to your old friends in a way that would be very difficult to connect with new friends. You know, there is, like, I'm in daily touch with Anil Nair, Abhijit Datta, Joydeep Banerjee, Rakesh Sidana, Nasif Ahmed,
I know.
Biltu, Siddharth, all of these guys. Like every day, yesterday, when England match was going on, we were talking to each other all the time, hoping that England somehow gets defeated. Unfortunately, England won for us. But we are in touch. Yeah, we are in touch. We can relate to each other in a way that I'm sure no one around us can relate to, because we are so disarming. We don't care who's what. That's actually quite an asset.
It is. It's really amazing. I mean, I do not think even regular people are in touch with, I would say, the bunch of friends they were hanging out with for such a long time. So it goes to your credit, I would say.
I think everybody is, and only people that are like true and big celebrities are not in touch with their old friends, and you are one of them.
मैं तो बोला है कि मैं ही सेलिब्रिटी बनना था but कहीं I think I missed the part. But I'm happy that you're on this side. I want to ask you, of course, because the second act podcast, it's all about a
Ji.
higher purpose and a deeper meaning that you have. So, what is yours? What's your second act? What's your deeper purpose in life or a high meaning that you get? What is your second act?
Today I had the thought that exactly the question you asked me some time back about money, about things, about cars and houses, etc. I said that, and my thought is this, that whatever I needed in this material world, I have that, and I will have it a little less or more, but somehow I'll get by. That's not what I am working towards. That I've never really aspired for that kind of thing. So, what is it that I still have to do, which I have not been able to do in my life? It is to reach certain themes, stories, thoughts that are very internal and close to me personally.
Nice.
Things that I have not been able to express, because I feel that if I can reach certain places in my own brain, in my own stories, I would be able to do some sort of a, call it, entertainment for the audience, because I'm sure that they can also relate to it. I feel in my second act, I actually have to reach closer to myself and to think about myself as that guy who thinks of a few things and enjoys a few feelings or has been attached to certain stories in his life, and try to bring them out. Those stories that have not found their way. I don't know whether it makes sense, but that's really what I need to do now as my second act.
And I think each one of us in some way, of course, you can bring it out, in a much larger way where you can touch people's lives. But I think each one of us needs to go a bit deeper. I think we're in that phase, second phase of our life, as I say, or, the second act of our lives, which needs to be a little more introspective, a little more deeper,
Yeah,
going within us
it's true.
and find
It's true.
a deeper meaning, a deeper connect with ourselves, like you said. And I think that's what I'm striving for as well in my second act, and I'm so glad that you stayed as well. And I think pandemic ने भी काफी कुछ सिखाया. In this 1.5 years, I think there is a lot of learning, at least that I got. Did you find any bigger meanings in this, phase of your life?
Oh, yes, it brought the world to a still. Even around me, I just felt that things now have become static. Now you don't have to rush to anything.
Yeah.
Now nobody is waiting. Now you actually take time and think about what it is that you really have to do, not because it is urgent, but because it is important. And I think that has made a lot of difference. And this whole thing that I'm feeling that, I have to reach deeper recesses of myself to be able to tell stories which I have not been able to say. This has been a result of the pandemic as well.
And the youth of today who follows you so much, and you remember that there was this friend of my daughter who had come specially to, get life learnings from you. So the youth of today who is like literally looking for mentor or somebody they can see who can give them direction, but they're so directionless. I just also feel that they're so all over right now. What is Imtiaz going to tell them from your life experiences?
Well, I'll say don't follow anybody's example. Listen to everybody, hear everybody out, but decide what you want to do. While you respect everybody, people like me, like you, and everybody who's older than you, while you respect them, but do not give them the responsibility of telling you what to do. Nobody's going to tell you what to do. If you are seeking answers, too bad for you. You should just do what you want to do and face the consequences. Have the courage to do that. The journey will never be made easier by reading other people's autobiographies. That's what I'd like to say to you.
And what is Imtiaz like a good dad? Because
like a good
daddy, because you're such a good
dad. I'm just extremely lucky that I had a daughter.
Yeah.
You know already how much I admire women, as I told you. So to have a daughter was like, I was so scared that I'm not going to have a daughter. I was sure that I will, but then I really wanted to also. So very lucky. And as my daughter grew up and as she's growing up, I think I am also growing up. That is also my second act in a way where I can relate to youth again, where I can relate to all kinds of things that she can now relate to. She learns new things and I learn new things with her from her point of view. And I think that I don't know what she might have gained from me, but I have gained a lot from being with her and having the privilege of seeing her journey so up close. I'm very fortunate to be a dad, is what I can say.
Yeah, at one point when, they seem to be a little bit all over, but they are so focused and there's so much to learn from them. That is so true as well. And I do the same from my kids. Every day is a learning. So I'm at my toes. This is true.
Yeah, it's learning and it's very entertaining, this learning, because you can go back to your own youth and you can think about all the things that you've done and how they are different at that same age. It's very interesting.
So are you telling either everything that you did or were up to?
Ida told me one day, a few years back, she said that there's a quotation that she'd read which she could relate to. And that quotation said that my dad never told me what to do in my life. He just lived his own life and let me seek. So after she said this, and she said, this is what I feel about you. That put a lot of responsibility on me. And then I started this deliberate process of making sure that I don't hide things from her. And if there are things that I have to hide from her, then I really don't do them only, because I don't want to create any distance between her and me. But I feel there's a very simple rule in life. You keep secrets from people, you create distance with that person. Simple as that. So I didn't want to do that with my daughter. So I'm just trying to actually tell her everything.
You do so much work on relationships, right? Every movie has different facets of relationships. When I talk about relationships, which you bring in, the different facets that you bring in, how do you relate to them? Because of course, everything has not happened in life, and it's not your own journey. So, are you like in every person trying to see more of them, from within, trying to understand the story that they bring in? Because they're so diverse. Everything that you bring in is so diverse, so much story oriented, so much relationship oriented. How are you getting these, insights? Let's put it this way.
These characters and these stories are not coming from a deliberate attempt or a particular source. When I'm writing or when I'm making these films, I don't know where these characters are coming from, but oftentimes they feel that they have a life of their own, and I just have to kind of look at them and write them down and bring them out. It's not as though I'm thinking and creating. Don't know why a certain character, let's say like, Jordan, Janardhan Jakar. I don't know why I would think about those kind of people or how I would be interested or even know about what would happen to a person like XYZ. But it just happens like that. In retrospect, I think about it that what Keith Dillon, what is my connection to a person like that? You know, why would I care about writing a story and where did she come from? I don't know the exact answer of questions like that, Archana, but sometimes I feel that is it my aspiration that I be like her, like I be a person who doesn't plan ahead and who's actually a bit stupid to go ahead and live the adventure of life and go through the motions like that or be so confident because no matter how much I portray this confident side, I am basically a shy child, like I'm a inhibited shy child. So to be a person who is completely, there's no relationship to shyness in her life. She's the absolute most extroverted person you will ever find, who's so talkative, who's so fluent. Maybe it's an aspiration to be like that. So aspects of your own personality and more than personality, things that you miss in yourself sometimes get reflected in the characters that you make. And believe me, one of the things that I admire in like Janardhan Jakhar is the fact that he's not cerebral. He's not a thinking person, And I sometimes wish that I was like that.
If you were like that, you wouldn't make what you're making, by the way.
I don't know. Maybe I'd be happier or sadder. I don't know. Maybe sadder. Yeah.
Is there anything in particular that's coming to your mind now that you haven't done so far in these characters? There's some different character that you're thinking to bring into life.
Yeah. Many types of different characters. I'm thinking about a person who is not faithful. For instance, there are people who have different compulsions and different reasons in life. There's a person who does not believe in the conventional laid out rules of relationship. There are two people who perhaps feel that it will be a defeat of our relationship if we actually end up together. These are thoughts that sometimes, contemporary people have, that I'm going to kill the beauty of our relationship if I get married to you.
Mm.
Things like that. I feel that these things are like embedded in our lives, and to look at it from a different point of view is always interesting.
If there was one character from college you had to bring in life into life, which person would that be?
From college in my life, huh?
No.
Interestingly, I have written feature film script
Okay.
based on those times.
Really? अरे
Yeah.
मौका मिल जाएगा in real life आने का सोचो कर लो
Yeah. So I have actually brought some people like that But I think there are many characters that are very interesting. They are interesting not because there are good or positive characters, but because they are strange and quirky and sometimes even twisted, like Joy. And all of these, like the male friends, and then Ruchika and you.
Hmm. Both of us.
Ruchika and you,
I know.
both of you are very, very interesting characters. And you, because you try to, like, in front of Ruchika, be like Ruchika, but you are a different person. And for instance, one day I came to your house and I saw that you guys are doing Buddhist chanting.
Oh, yeah.
And I looked at you and was like, Archana is doing Buddhist chanting. Of course, you must be doing it. And you did that and you looked at me and said that, oh shit, मैं कर रही हूँ यार, इसके सामने अभी कुछ बोलना मत. That kind of look.
Yeah, I was like so bored alone that whenever Rich was just going for these Buddhism classes, so I would say, can I also come because then I'll have something to do because the classes used to be in the evening. The whole day used to be like
Yeah, exactly.
whole day,
Yeah.
That's fine. And I'm still trying to comprehend, with the chant what happens because I did it for a long time. And then, of course, there are also people who actually find a lot of benefit from it.
I'm just saying there's nothing to do about chanting. It's about you. The fact that there is a certain, I found you a very mischievous person. Not wrong or badmash, but mischief, shararti. That there was that look in your eye. It's a harmless fun type of like how we were all.
Yeah.
Nothing any more incriminating than that. Don't worry.
Not have fun on the marine drive, on those
Yeah.
rocks. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Fancy drill fascination, which I found that fancy drill क्यों पीते हैं आप, So all those.
हाँ यार ये बड़ा strange था.
Huh.
वो it's a drug. Like it's a drug.
Yeah, with that.
And
People say cough syrup, kilo, and I was like, I'm actually fine, by the way. Much later,
yeah,
this fancy drill fascination.
yeah.
So,
So I didn't fortunately ever get onto that because for me it was like so strange having a medicine so much.
But just like Three Idiots, to be honest, you should actually at least one film which was all about, all of these, the Mayuri Bell, the fancy drill shows, the boys' hostel food. Oh my goodness. Every night.
Wasn't it very good? It was damn good, yeah.
It was cheap, and since there was nothing for the girls to eat,
Or kya?
Amazing. Especially the water in the loo, so the smell also kind of
shit.
attached to it was amazing as well.
Shit.
So all those things are in one film is a done thing.
Yeah.
But really, it's been such a great chat with you. Not that I want to end it here, but it is. Otherwise, people won't hear it if we just go on. It should be like 30 minutes, so that the part 2 of the second act can be more interesting with you. So
sure,
I'm going to wait.
Sure, we can go deeper into the concept of second act. If we do this, if we have a second act of this.
No, it will be. The part 2 of second act, it will be continuation of this, like I said. A continuation, yet an evolution. So we will continue and evolve into the next phase. And I shall wait for you to drop in.
Yep, yeah. I have to come. We'll catch up either in Delhi or Lucknow or wherever. Give my love to your kids and your husband. And catch up soon.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Thank you.